Hi, it's Neil here from Total Wellness Club, where we help solve the problem of preventable ill health by helping wellness providers drive up their impact by building proof in their solutions. And we also help to bring you marketing insights, tips, and insider secrets. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 most important elements of your landing pages. And if you're joining me live or if you're watching this replay, please do say hi and tell us what's new and what's happening in your business right now and what you're really excited about at this moment in time. News from Total Wellness Club this week is that we're planning an advanced training where we'll be giving our members a formula for using reviews in social media. So that they can help tell stories that attract new clients rather than pushing offers and discounts. So this training is happening at 3:30 on the 18th of October, and we'll be inviting everyone who has already set up a profile with us, so you can invite to that. If you don't have a registered profile with us yet, what are you waiting for? Go to business.totalwellness.club and be found where wellness seekers are looking for your help as a wellness provider. So that's the buzz in our business. What's your buzz? What's been happening in your business over the last week or so? We love to hear your news, and I've noticed in our group, the Business Hub for Wellness Professionals, we've had health coach and nutritionist Joanna Surety leave a comment in there this week that something that she's celebrating. She said that she had made a conscious decision to put herself forward whenever there was an opportunity to put herself forward, and in this case she was able to help herself get a speaking gig, which she said came really from a realization that, of course, there can always be no's, but there are always plenty of yeses out there. You just really have to ask. I love the fact that you're putting yourself forward, Joanna, in that way, because you're really opening your awareness to opportunities. And when you do that, you'll certainly hear the opportunities because you've tuned into them. And the thing is, I always think is if you never ask, then the answer is always going to be no anyway. So well done for putting yourself out there. So today, we're going to be talking about the 5 elements of landing pages. And I think what we should do is just take a moment to define what a landing page is, because sometimes there can be some confusion over what a landing page actually really is. You know, is it the home page of a website? Is it a registration page or opt-in page, or is it something else? So for the purpose of this training, a landing page is basically any page that somebody lands on. Okay, so what I'm going to use today is I'm going to use a Total Wellness Club profile page as an example of a landing page, because hopefully it's a page that everybody listening to this has already or will be getting very soon. So the other thing I want to say as well, that the 5 steps I'm going to go through with you today, you could equally use on pretty much any page within your website. But if you were writing an article or post, you could also pretty much use the same formula that I'm going to give you for writing that as well. So if you struggle with coming up with ideas for articles or how to structure it, this will really help you with that as well. First thing to remember, though, is that a profile, your profile on Total Wellness Club, like your about pages, which we were talking about last week, they're not really about you. They are actually about your audience. And you've got to think about what they need to read before they can make a decision to come and work with you. And there are 5 things that they need to know. So let's go through those now. The first is that they need to know that you solve their problem. Okay, so when you realize this, it makes complete sense to talk about one specific problem that you solve. So I know that you might have more than one problem that you solve, but you have to pick the number one problem you solve on a page, and then you really have to spell it out. And the reason you have to do this is because people are looking to solve a particular problem. If you imagine that they go to the doctors with a particular problem, they don't go to the doctors and say, I'm thinking of using a nutritionist for something or other. They actually go and they'll have a specific problem they're going to the doctors with. They'll have some symptoms, and the doctor will give them some kind of diagnosis for that. So they've then got a very specific word or phrase that they might then put into Google to look up. So you have to bear this in mind when you're creating your pages. So let's just say we're talking about Joanna a moment ago, and I know Joanna's a health coach and nutritionist. So if we just use an example of something that a nutritionist could use, for example, if you solve the problem, let's say, of diverticulitis, you should mention the word diverticulitis in the title of your page, and then you should use it in the first paragraph, and then maybe another 3 to 5 times through your page description. And doing that shows your potential customer that you can solve their problem. It also helps us here at Total Wellness Club send the right people to your profile via the search functions. And it also helps Google send the right people your way too. So when you're very specific about the problem, everyone knows what to send in your way. When you can't make up your mind, no one knows quite what to send you. Let me just pause just for a second. Just need to check something. Sorry about that. Just had a moment where I wasn't sure if we were actually on live or not. So just wanted to make sure that we were. I want to share my screen as well. So just trying to see how I can do that. The first time I've used Zoom in Facebook, so please bear with me while I'm doing this, because I thought it would be really useful to just share my screen. Hopefully you can see that now, because I want to be able to give you an example of what kind of things you could put into your page. So on your landing page, just talking through what the solving the problem. So the problem that the way that you could talk about the problem is just if I give you an example here, talking about diverticulitis. So what is diverticulitis? Diverticulitis is a digestive condition. We just describe what diverticulitis is in this case, so that it gives a very brief description of what the problem is. So somebody looking at your page would now be able to say, okay, I really get this. This person knows what they're talking about, or I know that I'm actually in the right place. So the next thing to do is to, well, for you really, is to think about, well, what problem do you solve? And then write 1 to 3 sentences about that problem and how you solve it. Okay, next thing to do is to show how you solve that problem. So once you've covered the problem, you need to immediately talk about what you can promise a potential customer. So really spell out the benefits that you offer. So tell them what you can deliver and what they can expect. So what you try and do here is in 1 or 2 sentences, and I mean 1 or 2 sentences, not 1 or 2 as in 5, 1 or 2 sentences, try to encapsulate that problem. So an example might be that the problem of diverticulitis can be solved when you understand what it is and how it flares up. Neil Fellows can show you the exact foods to avoid and the best ones to help you. So that's talking about the promise that you have. So the first thing we've talked about is the problem. The second thing we've talked about, the second paragraph, talks about the promise that you're making. Okay, so an action for you would be to write 1 or 2 sentences that actually spell out the promise that you have for somebody arriving on your page. So the next thing we want to look at is your proof and credibility. So in this section, what you want to do is you want to give details of your qualifications and experience. So you mention about any awards that you might have won, like the Health Hero Awards or our GEM Awards, if you're going after one of those. And you might also say if you're an author, or mention your experience. So I'll give you an example again of how that could look. So it could be something as simple as Neil Fellows is an award-winning nutritionist and an author with 15 years experience helping people with issues such as diverticulitis through good nutrition. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, by the way, so please don't be contacting me if you need any help with any of these things. I'm just creating this as an example for you. I am actually a copywriter by trade. So the next thing for you to do as an action would be for you to create 1 sentence that spells out your expertise. Now, if I'm going through any of this a bit too quick for you today, then what you can do is you can just watch this video again. You can replay it. It will be on Facebook with me getting up and running off and coming back again for everyone to see. But you can stop the video and you can pause it, and you can create your own descriptions based on what I put here on the screen. And the other thing you can do is, if you're not sure what to write, you can just take out my name and put in yours. You can take out my experience and put in yours. If you're not an award winner, then just add in, speaker, coach, nutritionist, whatever it is that's relevant to you, and add that into this wording here as well. Got a bit more to say on credibility and proof. At this point, somebody has come through your page. They've been looking at it, and what they've said, okay, great, this looks really good. They've seen that you're talking about their problem. They know that you get that. They've seen the promise that you make. So, that looks good. I'd like to resolve the problem in that way. I can see then that the person has some credibility. So that looks interesting to me as well. And then at that point, they start to ask the question, if I spend my money with this person, can I actually trust them to give me the result that I'm looking for? So really what they're driving at is trust. It's, can I trust them to deliver? Now, the good news is that the Total Wellness Club system is set up to help you take care of this in the most authentic way possible. So with Total Wellness Club, proof happens through user reviews. So reviews are better than testimonials because they're live and they're real and they're raw. And people that know that they've not been edited, they know that they've not been tailored, so they really trust them. And people are expecting to see reviews. I mean, reviews are everywhere these days. They're on Amazon, they're on eBay, they're on Houzz, they're on Airbnb, Total Wellness Club. Reviews are in every place, and people are really expecting to see them. And what's more is each review that you get on your profile with Total Wellness Club can push up your profile in Google, which just means that the more reviews you get and the more proof you get, the higher you go in Google, because there's more content and activity on your page. Google really likes you, so that really helps to push you up. Also, you can collect reviews on a regular basis, so you don't need to sort of do it on a one-off. You can keep it going, and I recommend that you do, because people look at how often reviews are left and when your last review was left. But as you do that, you automatically can win an award with us, and then you can use that award win in your profile to build more credibility. So all in all, Total Wellness Club is an amazing system that can help you to increase your trust between you and the prospective customer, because you've got to bear in mind that they've never heard of you before, potentially when they hit that page. So you can live stream reviews to your website from our website. You would need our professional package to do that. So if you're already registered with us, you can do that just by logging into your account and upgrading. If you're not registered with us already, business.totalwellness.club is the URL for you to go and take a look at. So your action really from this bit would be to begin collecting reviews so that you can show proof to people of what you have to offer. So the fourth element to talk about, so we've talked about the problem, we've talked about the promise that you have, we've talked about the proof and credibility. The next thing is the service or product. So we want to talk about this in some detail. So this could be a product or a program or a service or a package. And you want to imagine that you need to break down the barriers for your potential client, because you want to break those barriers down between you and them working with you. You want to make it really simple for them to understand what it is you do, so that the prospective client can really imagine how you work. And I don't know if you're like me, but let's say that you're thinking of going on holiday. What you're doing is you're maybe looking at the holiday brochure, and you want to see how you're going to get there. You're going to be flying there, you're going to be going by boat, how are you going to get there? And then when you know how you're going to get there, you're probably interested in what the meal plan is, what the sleeping accommodation is. Is it going to be a single room, a twin room, double room, family room? What's it going to be? And so you want to get some idea of what the holiday destination is like. And so people want to know what it's going to be like working with you. We do this in two ways. So we do this through bullet points, and we do it through showing feature, and we do it through showing benefit. So if I come back and just share my my screen again with you, just give me a second. So hopefully you can all see my screen again. So I'm just going to put some bullet points up on to the screen so that you can see how I've laid this out. So I'll just talk you through this. So we've put here, before your first meeting, you'll be sent a questionnaire. So this helps you fully understand the pain, and helps me fully understand the pain and conditions, so you can get right into the problem. There'll be a 1 hour Skype, a face-to-face consultation with help for you as well. And we'll then be able to look at the foods that aggravate diverticulitis, while others calm it. During this session, we'll also give you a personalised action plan to follow, and treatments include diet planning and meal planning, removing the guesswork and the trial and error. And there'll also be a 20-minute consultation 30 days later, where we will check on your progress and your results and help you to fine-tune what you need to. So all of these things, what we've done is we've given some features, but we've really focused on the benefit here as well. So if you think about the holiday example I gave you a minute ago, yeah, you want to know the meal plan, how you get there. You want to know what the sleeping arrangements are within the hotel. You want to know all those things. They're all features. But what the customer also wants to know are the benefits. Yes, they want to imagine what they're going to get, but they also want to really be able to feel it, and that's where the benefit comes in. So going through these bullet points, so the questionnaire, the benefit of that is that we can get straight into the problem, get straight into the pain and condition, and start working with you straight away. The idea of the 1 hour Skype, the benefit of that is so that we can personalize the action plan. And the benefit of the treatment is so that we can take out the trial and error. We can give you something that's already been tried and tested already, and we can try it out on you, and we can then make tweaks and improvements. And then the 20-minute follow-up consultation 30 minutes later will just help check on your progress. So that's about fine-tuning, so people really feel like you're working with them. So an action for you to take from this little section that I've been talking is to write a bullet point list and show the features of your offers and your benefits. So the next thing to think about is the price and the call to action. So at this point, you need to give people a very clear and very concise call to action, and you also need to give them the price. So I'll just put an example up on the screen here again for you. So the diverticulitis program is an investment of just £125. Relieve the pain today in a natural way. Call now to remove the pain and get started. So very nice and simple there at the end. So you just need to write yourself a call to action as well as a little action from what I've just said. So finally, there is one more, a bonus. I said I was going to share 5, but I'm actually going to share a 6th with you. I'm going to share a bonus one with you. And this is really all about your image. So this is about a photograph that I'm going to just talk about here. Because a picture can say 1,000 words. So you need to think about what 1,000 words your picture is currently saying about you. So you want to choose a photo for your profile and for your web pages that gives a really good first impression to a potential buyer. And if you haven't got something that's professional, then it's really not doing you any favors. So I really would recommend you consider getting the best possible photo you can. If you can't do professional photography, try and find a very plain white background, get the lighting right behind you, and then have the light in your face and maybe take it with your own camera. Do the best job you can and take a lot of photographs. And also try changing clothes as well, because sometimes your clothes can bring out the color in your face a little bit differently. Some colors wash you out, others brighten you up. So play around with things and have some fun with it. And then when you've got a good image to upload onto your Total Wellness Club profile, the best size of image to upload to us is 200 by 200 pixels. And then once you've uploaded the image, just make sure it's not too blurry or stretched. If you haven't registered with us yet, or you're trying to change something on your profile and you get stuck, on business.totalwellness.club, we've got a little help function in the bottom right hand corner. You can just click on that and you can chat to us as you're trying to do things and tell us where you're at, and then obviously we can help you through that process if you need it. So anyway, there you go. A 6th element that I wasn't necessarily planning to include today, but I have done that for you. So today we've talked about landing pages, and we've included the 5 critical elements of a landing page. And then I've added in a bonus one for you as well. So next week, we are going to be joined by Nora. Nora is our brand manager here at Total Wellness Club, and she's going to be sitting here in my place next week. Not right here, she's actually based in America. But what Nora is going to do next week is she is going to do a critique on web pages for you. So if you would like your website to be critiqued from a brand perspective, if you want to see how you're currently doing, then here's a great opportunity for you. What Nora needs to know, and you can put the information into the comment section on the feed here on Facebook Live, or you can direct message me or send me an email. Then Nora potentially could be looking at your website next week. She needs to know who your website is targeted at, and of course she needs to know the URL. So Nora will be taking a look at those next week for you. So it's been fun and games here. There's always something new going on. Someone like Joe always likes to set me a new challenge. Today we wanted to include a PowerPoint, and that meant being able to do this through Zoom. So me, Facebook Live, PowerPoint, Zoom, what could go wrong? I wasn't actually sure if I was broadcasting at one point there, which is why I got up and run off for a second just to check. Anyway, I will see you very soon, and look forward to speaking to you. Take care now. Bye.